Aristotle once said, "We are a reflection of what we consistently do." In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 tips on how to improve on consistency. Welcome back to another video. My name is Dom, and I help people to step into their truth and power. Do you want to experience being more consistent? Awesome. In the comments below, type, "I am consistent." I am consistent. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 tips on how to improve on consistency. You know, after reading that quote from Aristotle that said we are a reflection of what we consistently do, I got curious and I did something that some of you may find strange, but holy crap, was it really powerful. I went and stood in front of my full-length mirror and I asked myself, how is consistency, or the lack of consistency, showing up in what I'm seeing in myself in the mirror? The first thing most people will notice is that part of themselves that they dislike the most. And for me, I noticed 2 things. And truth be told, it's my gut and it's my ass. So, you know, having spent the first half of my life being overweight, it's just my go-to. It's where I go and I pick myself apart the most over. But when I stop and ask, how does consistency show up in those areas? I get a pretty clear and honest answer. I notice that when I am more consistent eating food that isn't good for me, or I'm more consistent in slacking off in my workouts and movement, that consistency reflects back to me in the mirror in ways that I don't like to see. But when I'm consistent eating food that is good for me and I'm more consistent in getting my movement and workouts done, that consistency reflects back to me in the mirror in ways that I feel good about. But beyond that, I became even more curious and took a few minutes to take a deeper, closer look at what I saw in the mirror. When I looked at myself through my own eyes, as it related to consistency, what did I see about myself then? And I can tell you it wasn't so long ago that I wouldn't have even been able to do this because I knew I wasn't going to like what I saw. I was consistent in getting through the day each day, but I was miserable inside. That's what I saw. What reflected back to me was that I consistently put everybody else first, and it was taking a toll. And if I didn't change it, the stress of it was going to put me 6 feet under sooner than I cared to think about. I had to get consistent in putting and taking care of myself first in all ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I realized that if I want to give my best to others, that I can't pour my best into their cups if my own cup is empty and depleted. So this is what I did to become more consistent. Tip number 1, small daily changes. I didn't change all 4 areas of my life at one time. I just picked one to focus on. I picked my physical health and wellness. I started with moving my body and working out. When I found myself getting consistent with it, I then moved on to the next thing I wanted to focus on, which was my nutrition. Once I got consistent in those 2 areas of my physical being, I moved on to my mind. I began working on nourishing my mind better. I began reading something inspiring each day and turning off the news. When I got consistent in that, I introduced meditation just for a couple of minutes a day at first. And I kept introducing little things, one after another in this fashion until I was more consistent than not. Consistency is a lifestyle change that we're seeking to make for ourselves. And so tip number 2 is really important. If we want to be consistent, we want to find some level of enjoyment in it. I mean, let's face it, if I don't enjoy playing tennis and I have no interest in it, I'm not going to choose to do that for my movement or exercise. It does turn out, however, that I love doing body combat, which is a high-intensity interval training mixed martial arts influenced style workout that's set to inspiring music. It's my go-to workout when I don't feel like working out because I know once I'm 10 minutes into it, I'm hooked. So I find that one thing in my movement that I can rely upon to help keep me consistent even when I'm not feeling it. So I began making small changes in each one of those 4 areas: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, one at a time. I'm curious, which area of your life do you need to become more consistent in? Your physical wellness, mental wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness? Share in the comments below, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. I want to know. I want to know where you need the help. Tip number 3, accountability. In your accountability, share what you are doing with someone. And the more public you share it, actually, the better it is. This might feel a little bit counterintuitive, but it really, really works. I learned that the more vulnerable and real we are, the more likely we are to show up in consistency. And not only does it rally people around us and give them an opportunity to celebrate success with us, but it also supports us through days of challenge. Tip number 4, break down to break through. And this is the one that probably has the most impact for people. When we have some type of life experience that forces us out of our consistency for an extended period of time, it can feel like we're having a complete breakdown in our ability to remain consistent. Instead of allowing my negative thoughts about not being consistent turn into negative feelings about myself and getting all stuck in that muck, when we feel a breakdown occurring, we actually have an opportunity to learn something about ourselves that we weren't aware of before. And sometimes those learnings that get revealed, it's information we need that will lead us to the huge breakthrough that we're seeking to experience. I experienced this when I was going to school for my coaching certification. Being more naturally introverted, I started off being more of a spectator in the school community. I kept to myself. I didn't engage too much, and I believed that I could really do this by myself. Well, about a month into the program, my dad passed from a sudden massive heart attack. I had to take a break from work and my schoolwork. The next week I did go back to work, but I took some extra time off from my schoolwork. I found after a few weeks I was having a really hard time getting re-engaged. I had lost my mojo and my excitement. So I finally broke down and shared in the group what I had experienced and was going through. In that breakdown, I received my breakthrough, that I'm not going to be able to do this by myself. I realized that I needed to get comfortable being more vulnerable when I felt like I needed help. I quickly realized there is no badge of honor given to people who try to do things by themselves. There is, however, a lot more struggle experienced. Well, I didn't want any more struggle. I wanted more ease. And so when I finally put my ego aside and broke down and asked for help, I was able to receive the ease. I was able to receive the help. It was such a huge breakthrough for me. I learned early on that my pride and ego were personal hijackers, and they kept me trapped. And so in all truth, I learned that there is no shame in asking for help. If you're relating to this tip, type breakthrough in the comments. Type breakthrough in the comments. Those personal hijackers, control, judgment, and ego, all live in our mind. And so when we're able to get out of our thinking head and ego and just focus on the current moment, we're able to calm the mind, allowing us to think more clearly and to feel into a place that is more emotionally wise and intelligent. So to help you, I invite you to listen to my free Calm the Mind meditation exercise. Actually, it's not so much of a meditation, but a 10 to 12 minute visualization that I walk you through to quiet the personal hijacker in your mind so you can have an opportunity to embrace your personal power. I've done this exercise with countless clients of mine, and it's really proven to be a powerful tool for them. So as I shared the Calm the Mind meditation exercise, it is free to listen to. I've put the link in the description box below, so go check it out. So which one of these 4 tips was most helpful for you today? Share in the comments below, let me know. And if this helped you in any way, I invite you to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be having a lot more videos coming to help you. But also, if you would like to pay it forward, I would love for you to step into that and pay it forward. Share this video with just one person who you think would benefit from receiving this information. And until I connect with you again for my next video, stay empowered.